Wow. What?
You get this only nowhere else but the Kevin and Zach. Kevin, I'm not going to lie.
Now look at this. A carved penguin. There it is.
Oh, no. Are the O's fine? Are the Orioles fine, Kevin?
It's so embarrassing. I was so embarrassed.
Okay. The Orioles stole it. That game was stolen. It was stolen from them, then they stole it right back.
What?
Oh, my God.
Wait, what's going on? What is happening?
What is going on? Was it a diving play? He bobbled the play.
What is happening? Are they challenging it? No. Other wall. No.
Kevin, I don't know what you saw, how much you saw. I've been chugging champagne. Sure, I spilled a lot, but what a game, man.
He will be the legendary
Birdfish.
How about that?
Birdfish fans, stand up. We did it.
What can I say? What can I say?
The Baltimore Orioles are in the win column, baby. Season's back on. Season is back on. What's up, everyone? Welcome into Kevin and Zach React. A little different. Yeah, I got the soundboard today. So we're playing around with the soundboard. We're live in the Ryan Ripken studio right after the show. We got a little workout going on over there. So that, as you can see, Ryan walking around. Yep. Getting a little workout in. So going live straight after the show. The Baltimore Orioles win 4-3. Like I said before, and I'm going to keep the same kind of thought process. The scoreboard is not necessarily the most important aspect of these games anymore. It is a nice touch. It is fun to win. It is good to see yourself in that win column. But at this moment, the most important part is, let's call it what it is. It is Charlie Morton, who has been rumored to be one of the top suited names, most pursued, maybe is a better way to put it, most pursued names on the trade market. I've been saying it for about a month and a half, and if you didn't believe it before, maybe you'll believe it a little bit more now. But Charlie Morton, I think people are going to be a little uncomfortable with the what the Orioles get in return. I think it can be very, very nice return for the Orioles. So you go, Charlie Morton, 6 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 7 Ks through 107 pitches. Listen, Charlie is doing Charlie things. This is what the Orioles wanted Charlie Morton to be. Fact. This is what they were hoping for, to get a guy that goes out there, eats innings. Maybe it's not going to be the shutdown. He's 7 innings, no runs, absolutely dominant. He's not the ace. He's not a team's ace. But what you were hoping to get from Charlie Morton is a veteran who can come in there, eat innings, and give you an opportunity to win games. And that's exactly what he did here today. And honestly, if it wasn't for the beginning of this season, I think Charlie Morton would be probably the pitcher on the market if he was pitching the way he has all season, or over the past 2 months all season. But Charlie Morton, incredible day for him. These are exactly the days you want to see from Charlie, especially with the trade deadline. I mean, we are less than, where are we? No, I guess we're not officially less than a week. We got a week and an hour and 15 minutes. 1 week, 1 hour and 15 minutes from now, the trade deadline will have passed. deals will be finalized, and that's that. So with just that amount of time remaining, an outing like this let's call it what it is, in what could potentially be the last time you see Charlie Morton in an Orioles uniform. Might get one more start in before the deadline, but we'll see. This was a massive way for him to go out. Keeps the trade value. And I mean, you might be asking, Zach, the past 2 thumbnails have had nothing to do with the game. And they just say trade value ? With different players attached to them, because that's what's important right now. Over the next week, trade value. We could talk about Charlie Morton. We can talk about Zach Eflin. We can talk about Sir Anthony Dominguez and Gregory Soto, who each performed today. Sir Anthony, a little bit hectic. 2 hits in his inning, but 2 strikeouts. He is who he is. Sir Anthony, he never was that guy who was going to come in and just be flat out dominant. He has those days, but what you've learned anything with Sir Anthony Dominguez is it's a give and take. But the fact that he is able to go an inning, 2 hits, and still find a way out of it. 25 pitches in an inning, not ideal. Then passes the baton to Gregory Soto. 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts to get the save. That's important. Gregory Soto, a power arm lefty coming out of the bullpen, a late inning guy. We've talked about trade value before for him. I still think that is solely because he's a power lefty arm. I think that's going to be something that teams very much gravitate towards. Does a deal get done? I'm not sure. But the trade value is there for the Orioles if they decide to go that route. Besides that, let's kind of talk about, I say the scoreboard doesn't matter as much. It's what do the progressions look like? Jackson Holliday 0 for 5, not ideal. Not ideal. You don't love an 0 for 5. But I do love is, and I tweeted this out earlier, the difference a year can make from last year to now. Jackson Holliday at second base. That glove flip that he made, I believe, in the 2nd inning. There's just, that's instinct. That is just straight instinct coming through. And that's what I think people don't always understand when it comes to learning a new position. It's not always, okay, do you know how to play the position? It's learning that there's little nuances you have to pick up on, but it's just about being comfortable. This is a kid who played shortstop his whole life, gets asked to play second. And no, not just play second. It's getting thrown in second base in the biggest stage of them all. His progression and his ability to adapt at second and take that head on and thrive. I couldn't be happier with Jackson Holliday at second. He's playing a Gold Glove-esque second base now. Is there still room to grow? 1,000%, and there is for everyone. Hell, I think Gunnar Henderson, you can disagree with me. I think Gunnar Henderson is a damn good defender. When Gunnar slows the game down, which I think he's still getting to, Gunnar's going to be even better. I think the same with Jackson. There are times where he makes maybe a mental error. Maybe he's too quick to something. But overall, for a year playing second base, Jackson Holliday has done a damn good job. Next up, you have Jordan Westburg, 1 for 4. He gets the single in the 1st inning, then comes around to score on the Ramon Laureano big ball in the 1st. Listen, Jordan Westburg, he's going to, I feel like it's just another day in the office. Jordan Westburg going 1 for 3, 1 for 4 with a run. He just produces. Maybe it's not at the level of when they're winning and he's having 2-3 RBIs a game. He's getting 2-3 hits. But overall, very, very impressed with just the way that some of these guys, especially Jordan Westburg, have been able to still just put their head down and get the job done and do their job at least. Gunnar Henderson, 2 for 4. He gets 2 singles and then the hit by pitch, also with the RBI that scored Jackson, Alex Jackson. That is. So Gunnar, another good day, 2 for 4 with an RBI, up to 277 on the year. Ramon Laureano, 1 for 5. That one being the big ball in the 1st. Little dinger to help you out there to start the game. Just also realized I have Ryan Ripken show down here. That's just Gonna have to change that. Oh, okay. Ryan just looked back like, why am I changing it? Yeah, I'm just over here changing the names so that people don't get confused as to what is going on right now. Change this to Kevin Zach React. And I misspelled Kevin's name. I don't know how I misspelled Kevin's name. Pow! There we go. There we go. We're back at it. Let's move on to Tyler O'Neill. 2 for 4, just as we all saw. As says everyone saw it coming. Tyler O'Neill, you know what? Not the cricket one. Don't, just the front. Round of applause for Tyler O'Neill. 2 for 4, 2 singles to start off the game in the first and the third. You kind of got it's a little comical, like with how much everyone kind of hates on Tyler O'Neill for him to come out. And I saw a lot of people on Twitter. They're like, yeah, Felix might be done for the year, but Tyler O'Neill back in the lineup at least. Well, Tyler O'Neill 2 for 4, just as we all saw coming. Just as we all saw coming. Ramon Arias double to center in the first on very hard hit ball. Very much a misplay by center field. Like, let's just call it what it is. It should have been a line out. It should have been a line out. But in baseball, how many times are you robbed on a good hit that should have been a hit? He made hard contact. Center fielder misjudges it, misreads it completely, gets over his head. You'll take it any chance you get. Kobe Mayo 0 for 2. I know he also got hit by a pitch. Okay, I'm going to have the conversation now. I understand kind of the situation. It kind of pissed me off when they pinch hit Ryan O'Hearn for Kobe in the 8th. If there were maybe men on second and third, guy on second, guy on third with 2 outs, with 1 out, then yeah, maybe you're trying to extend the lead to 1, past 1 run. I just, with 2 outs in the 8th, 2 outs, no one on, you're up 1. Why are we not letting Kobe get that out at bat? Like, when and I've talked about this, the scoreboard's one thing. What we're also trying to do is see how guys react. And that's a pretty nice situation for Kobe. 2 outs, no one on in the 8th. We're up 1. Let's try to start something here. That's just another one of those examples. And listen, O'Hearn walked. It was what? Walk, single, walk, and then an out. Doesn't end up mattering. But even if O'Hearn hits a homer there, like, yes, it's awesome. Like, good for him to help the trade value and stuff. But why are we not just allowing Kobe to get that opportunity? It's the little things like that. And you can disagree with me. You can say, oh, we're trying to win the game. Yeah, maybe that's a try to win the game type thing. But is the winning this singular game when you are at the time 13 games under 500 more important than Kobe Mayo getting another at bat? Like, the only way that really changes the outcome of the game is if Ryan O'Hearn goes up there and hits a homer. But even then, the Orioles still win 4-3. And maybe you can say I'm nitpicking. I agree with that. Like, yes, this is a very little thing. But I've talked about how I want this season, the rest of the season, to be built around seeing what you have. It's all about seeing what you have and going from there. And when you have an opportunity to get a guy a late game situation where if he fails, if Kobe Mayo on 3 pitches strikes out, okay, you still have the lead. There wasn't a guy on second. Like, once again, if this was a 1-run game, we're up 1 and there's a guy on second, 2 outs, a guy on third, 2 outs, and you're like, okay, we really want to hit here to try to extend the lead. Then maybe, and they were more competitive this season, then yeah, I get that. It's hard for me to find the reasoning when you're 13 games under 500 and you have your top prospect. I still consider my top prospect up. He's looking more comfortable at the plate. I don't get why you don't give him that at bat in the 8th. Once again, I'll even say if it was leading off the inning, I'd even be okay with Ryan O'Hearn getting there because you're like, okay, let's see if we can get O'Hearn to walk, get a hit, try to start something in the inning. It's 2 outs, no one on. Wouldn't you rather, like, let's say this, wouldn't you rather have Ryan O'Hearn available off the bench if Kobe gets out and then all of a sudden the next inning, you have your 8-9 batters up and let's say the Guardians take the lead or the Guardians tie the game? Wouldn't you rather have it then? Once again, I know I'm nitpicking. I know it's a little thing. I get that. But it's those little things that kind of annoy me about where I feel like we're not 1,000% committed to getting these guys the best progressions we can give them, the best number of at-bats. You know, they talked about, we're trying to get Kobe a certain number of at-bats. Well, you're not playing him. So when you're playing him, you should let him get all the at-bats he can. Especially in an at-bat that didn't end up mattering in the game. It's just my 2 cents. I get it. Maybe not the popular thing, but that was my 2 cents. Dylan Carlson 0 for 3. Jacob Stallings then with the double switch comes in. Austin Jackson. I'm going to call Alex Jackson Austin Jackson for the rest of eternity. I'm sorry. Like, that's just simply how it's going to be. I've spent too much of my time growing up playing 2K12 franchise rebuilds and drafting Austin Jackson to be my center fielder for me to just suddenly forget his name. So if I refer to Alex Jackson as Austin Jackson, I'm trying my hardest. So that's, if you hear that's what's happening. I'm just simply trying my hardest, but I have a love for Austin Jackson. Actually, new member, I guess. Not as new member to the Hall of Pretty Good, but within the past 2 weeks. So, yeah. And here's the other thing from Adam. Also, why let Mayo learn first base under clutch moments late in the game? Yeah, make him play first. Like, how is he supposed to learn first and be better? Like, if Ryan O'Hearn's genuinely getting traded, if they are sold on their selling Ryan O'Hearn, what did that one at bat and those 2 innings playing first really do for his trade value? Like, nothing. Even if he strikes out and makes 3 errors, it doesn't hurt him or help him. I just think it's valuable time that you should be like. Now I'm at the point as before we were like, they're running out of time to make a comeback. Now I'm at the point where I'm like, they're running out of time to get these guys valuable, quote unquote, meaningless at bats. Because in 2026, when that starts up, you got to compete. You got to be winning ball games, and you can't be, let's get some prospects sometimes just because. Let's get them plate appearances just because. That's now. August and September of 2025 are when you're supposed to go out there and get these guys some plate appearances. Get these guys some experience. I'm talking about Kobe. I'm talking about Dylan Beavers. I'm talking about Sam Basayo. Now, I know people won't like it as much. I'm even talking about Heston Kjerstad. Kjerstad, let him figure it out a little bit more in AAA. I know you look at his numbers. It's atrocious. They're tweaking things, you know? Just, yeah. I think he was 15 for his last 13 in June. Man, was killing it. Yeah. He was absolutely killing it. He was looking like a major leaguer. He was looking comfortable. He was looking exactly what we were hoping Kobe Mayo would look like that early in his career. He looked like a player who was starting to play it together because he was getting consistent playing time. Let's look at Jackson Holiday. When did Jackson Holiday go from, okay, let's see what he has, to, oh, shit, this is our leadoff hitter. This is a guy that we rely on? When they gave him consistent playing time. You know, that's the thing. Consistent playing time is what they need right now. Give the young guys an opportunity, because that's where it's frustrating, is when I understand maybe in that moment, you're like, let's see if we can go and get Ryan O'Hearn this at bat. Maybe it's a home run. But after, like, once again, what's that one home run doing compared to getting, you know, even if he hits it, compared to getting Kobe Mayo some more bats, who you're hoping is maybe the future of your first base position? Because things aren't opening up. Like, that's why I keep wanting to tell people, because I know a lot of people I've seen on Twitter, I've seen, not in this comment section right now, but I've seen comment sections before of, well, once the deadline's up, it's literally Kobe Mayo's spot. Like, first base is all his. He's playing every game. Ryan Mountcastle's coming back. Like, is Ryan Mountcastle just sitting on the bench? You're also trying to see what you get from Ryan Mountcastle. Like, 2026 is open. Like, I don't think there are maybe a few players on this team that I think are their spots secured, but I don't think, if they get a trade offer for a pitcher and Ryan Mountcastle needs to be involved because of his upside as a hitter, he's available. Like, you got to see what you can get. If Ryan Mountcastle comes, out and he looks like, top Ryan Mountcastle, under Mabry with the more aggressive approach, the more ambush type approach, which Ryan Mountcastle is very good at, helping him with that, maybe he unlocks something. But you don't know if you're not playing these guys. So it doesn't get easier if you trade O'Hearn. It doesn't get easier if you trade a lot of guys because we still have guys coming back from injuries. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. I said it on the Ryan Ripken show earlier today. No disrespect to Ramon Arias because I've seen him sit on a bench for 10 straight games and then come up in the biggest moment and produce. Ramon Arias is just a damn ball player who can show up to the yard and will just do whatever's needed. He doesn't need to start every day to be comfortable and to be at his best. Those guys are rare. So what do you do in that situation? You allow a guy like him to, if you need Kobe Mayo to play, Ramon Arias doesn't need to play every day. He can start every 3 games. He's one of the most valuable bench assets in the league. He doesn't need to be a starter. He's not one of the guys that you're evaluating for 2026. I think it is very clear if they want him, Ramon Arias is going to be the bench bat, one of in 2026, because the versatility and the ability that he cannot play for days. I mean, we've seen him go weeks at a time, it feels like, and then he comes up in a big situation and he gets the job done. That's why that's where I get, frustrated. Same with Ramon Laureano. Ramon Laureano leads this team in RBIs. He's tied in homers, tied for second in average, third, fourth in hits, and a lot less games. If it's between playing Ramon Laureano and Ramon Laureano is coming back next year, you're picking up that option after the trade deadline. Ramon Laureano can play every other day. Like, I would rather see him in a rotation with Dylan Beavers and they're every other day than Ramon Laureano plays every day in August and September and Dylan Beavers gets 15 at bats. September and late August of 2025 is, in my mind, the only way that the Orioles can salvage this season. And it's if you find out what you have in these guys. Is if you finally tell them, we are giving you a month of just solid playing time. Go out there. It's like they did with Gunnar in 22. Go out there. It is your spot. No matter if you strike out 15 straight times or you get 15 straight hits, go play baseball. That's how you see what you get out of these guys, out of these prospects, is by playing them. I can tell you this, Kobe Mayo is not developing any better because he has a front row seat to a Major League Baseball game. When I go sit and watch a Major League Baseball game, that doesn't slow the game down for me, so I know it won't slow the game down for him. You got to play. Just being on the Major League roster is not good enough. You have to play. You have to play consistently. So, yeah, just because the trade deadline's coming, and yes, I assume like an O'Hearn, like a Seti, those guys could be getting moved. We'll get into Ramon Laureano in a second. Those guys could be getting moved. I would say decent chance those guys get moved. Doesn't necessarily mean that suddenly everything's open. You got guys coming back. You have some veterans that you still need to play. You still need to play Kalser. He's a young player. You still need to see what you have out of. I think you know pretty well what you have out of Kalser, but that doesn't mean that you can just take at bats from him. He's still a young player developing. Ramon Arias, Ramon Laureano, I hate using those two as the example, but unfortunately for them, they're kind of the two veterans that get every consistent playing time recently. You need to, even Jordan Westbrook. I mean, Jordan Westbrook missed a lot of time this year and at the back end of last year. You need him to get more baseball under his belt. The majority of this team is young still, and they need to continue to grow. So you have to see what my goal in late August, and throughout all of September for the 2025 Orioles is to see what you have for 2026. Because what we can't have is we're trying to bring up Dylan Beavers on opening day next year. We're trying to bring up Basayo on opening day next year, and it's their first taste of major league pitching. Now, unless injuries or something happen that you can't control, I get that. But if guys like Dylan Beavers, guys like Sam Basayo aren't playing all of August, it's a waste. 2025 season is over from a competitive side. There will be no banner hanging in Camden Yards. There will be no playoff baseball in October in Baltimore. The season, from an expectation standpoint, has been a failure. But that doesn't mean you can't salvage part of it. It can become a total failure from top to bottom if at the end of September we look back and the only thing that has happened is we've played veterans. And we still don't know what the young guys can do. That's how you can continue to screw up this season, is if you don't allow your young guys to see what they have. Because that's the frustrating part. We hear all about these guys in AAA. They're killing it. They look fantastic. And in a lot of ways, they were blocked. Because the Orioles had to balance how do you try to win and how do you try to develop players at the same time. Well, congratulations. Because of the situation you put yourself in, with injuries, with not winning games that you should have won, winning's no longer an objective in 2025. It's about development. It's about going out and making sure that your young players have an opportunity. Because that's what you have to look at. If you go into 2026 and you do not know what you have in Dylan Beavers yet, and I'm not saying you're going to know exactly what you have just with 1 August and 1 September. Maybe they get 60 at bats, nothing crazy. You're not going to know what you have, but I'll tell you one thing. You look at Jackson Holiday, you look at Kobe Mayo. Their second block of 60 at bats looked a hell of a lot better than their first block of 60 at bats. And I'll tell you this, I would put very good money on Jackson Holiday's next 500 at bats will look a lot better than his first 500. I'm assuming he's at 500 at bats at this point in his career. Let me stat check that real fast. Oh, 562. Sometimes I'm good. Sometimes I know what I'm talking about. But 562 at bats, 372 this season. I mean, you look at the difference between it. It's unbelievable. This is why you have to get kids their bats. No one's developing on the bench. So if you want to talk about the goals now for 2025, develop. Get young players their at bats. Well, on that note, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. It's Kevin and Zachary. Go live after every single Orioles game. We are a little bit different today. We're going live from the Ryan Ripken Show studio. We just finished up the Ryan Ripken Show about 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago. Hopped right into this because honestly, didn't want to go home and then have to start it up. 2 birds, 1 stone. But as we continue to talk about the Orioles, we'll go good news. Although I know we won. So that's good news as well. Lil Slay. I know we talked about it a lot on this show about, hey, what happens with Lil Slay? We had the countdown going. July 31st, July 28th, I believe. Deadline for that. So we'll see what happens. You finished up with all your top guys. You got $4 million after his slot value was 2.6. And James, I hate to be that guy, but Slater DeBrun looks like every Orioles prospect ever. I know he looks a lot like Gunnar, but he also looks like a lot like Jackson. He looks a lot like he kind of just fits the mold. He I can't say I didn't see him and I was like, oh, okay, I see. Okay. We're going back to the well. We're going back to the well on that one. But Slater DeBrun does, in fact, sign. And I know maybe that's, what are we doing? Helping the 2029 Orioles? Yeah, we are, because I'll tell you this. No, people didn't like the trade. Still don't understand why there were some that passionate about. I didn't know Brian Baker had that many fans, to be honest with you, like diehards. I actually have this guy on Twitter who yesterday after the 8th inning, so I commented on like over 30 posts of different people asking if they miss Brian Baker now. And I was like, I think you missed the point of the trade. Brian Baker was not saving this season. But I'll tell you this, people would have been okay with DFAing Brian Baker 3 months ago for nothing. You got first round pick. And not only that, we talked to Jonathan Mayo from MLB Pipeline. He said that scouts are saying if he was 2-3 inches taller, he would have been a top 15 pick. I don't like comps because it's unfair. Everybody and their mother has comped this man to Corbin Carroll. That's what it is. So you want to talk about value. I just hit my foot so hard on that. I'm trying to act tough right now. I just hit my foot so I was not prepared to how hard I just hit my foot on this chair. All right, but wow. This is the kid who it took $4 million to sign him. Why? Because he was heading to Vanderbilt, and in all honesty, if he stayed for 3 years there, maybe a first-round pick or maybe a top 10 pick. Yeah, we now have a lot of outfield field prospects now. Yeah, so here's the thing, but not all of them are going to pan out. And in all honesty, like, let's look at it this way. Let's say Slay turns into a top 25, top 50 prospect, but you have your outfield completely set in 2028. He's supposed to come up in 2029. You, in theory, the best thing that Slater DeBrun could be a part of is maybe another trade that gets you that top guy, pitching rotation guy, however, whatever it may be. So, yeah, you have a lot of outfield prospects, but one, not everyone works out. Some may be in trades. Some may not be here. Hell, Vance Honeycutt, he's not having a great year in Aberdeen. I think he's batting below 200. People have said, oh, well, he's ahead of him. I think that Slater could lap him. I don't think just because there are other outfielders that are highly regarded. I mean, Slater DeBrun already is, by Baseball America, the Orioles' 11th best prospect. The 11th best, not outfield prospect, the 11th best prospect for the Orioles. You trade Brian Baker for that any day of the week. Any day of the week. All right, I'm going to put the call-in link into the chat so we can get that rolling before we head out of here. A little bit of a, I don't want to call it a bonus because obviously it's not, but just a little different Kevin and Zach React today. Live from the studio, so call-in link is live if anyone wants to hop in before we wrap it up here. I'm going to talk to you, though, while we wait about Ramon Laureano, because I know that there have been, we talked about this on the Ryan Ripken show, and yes, real fast. Ike Irish is interesting because we've talked to a lot of people. They think he's definitely not a catching prospect. He is going to probably be an outfield, but it's his bat. I don't think they really care about where he plays. He's going to be kind of pushed around a lot of places. He had one of the best bats in the draft, especially collegiately. So I think that's why they went that direction with Ike Irish. Is not necessarily because they were like, oh, he's an outfielder. I think they just like the bat. And they think that they'll find where he fits eventually. So let's talk about Ramon Laureano. So Ramon Laureano, I know I just talked about, he leads the team in homers, RBIs, fourth in hits, second in batting average. He is without a doubt, or could without a doubt, be the best Oriole available at the deadline. He could be one of them, especially contractually because of the $6.5 million team option. If you want him next year, you can have him next year if you trade for him. So that adds some value to it. The question becomes, and this is where I've talked about it, is Ramon Laureano a part of the solution to competing in 2026? You have to ask yourself that. Is he the solution to helping compete in 2026? If you think that Ramon Laureano can be the right-handed bat, outfield bat for the Orioles in 2026 to help them compete and win a World Series potentially, or compete for a World Series. No, people are going to be like, oh, don't say that word here. Compete for a World Series. If you are able to do that, you think that he is a part of the plan next year, you don't trade him. Because I don't think you're going to get some double A, single A prospects that you hope turn up in a few years. Because you're not going to, I doubt you get a first round pick for him. You're probably not getting anyone's top 10 prospects for him. If you get blown away by an offer, yeah. You create a bidding war to get the top guys, yeah, you can go with that. But personally, Jason, I agree here. I got to keep him. Unless you are blown away by an offer, Ramon Laureano means more to you in 2026, and I think those prospect or two will. I just don't know. I don't know if you can get that kind of value for him because he is a 30-year-old, outfielder. He's having a good year. It's not like he's having the greatest year of all time. He's having a damn good year. And in fact, it sucks because had he been doing this and the Orioles were competing, he'd probably be up there for signing of the offseason in all of baseball. Hell of a signing. But if you think that this is not a fluke and that this is who Ramon Laureano genuinely is and is going to continue to be next year, I keep him 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10, I keep him. Yeah, and you want to talk about Pirates' second-round pick the pitcher out of high school. It just committed to UCLA and is going there. So if you want to talk about, Orioles fans having it tough, the Pirates are in no man's land, and that is not improving anytime soon. Gosh. What a day. Orioles get the win. They find a way, which is actually fine because I feel like so many times this year they just kept finding ways to lose. I thought, hand up. You can put your hand up in the chat. I didn't think they were winning this. It got tied 3-3 after Stephen Kwan hit his second homer of the game. I didn't think they were winning that ball game. How many times have the Orioles jumped out? They scored 3 in the first, and then Stephen Kwan comes all the way back in the 6th, 7th, and does it? I mean, yeah, Jason, I thought 3-3, I thought it was over. And Kevin, I see you talking about the draft simulator. We'll doing that right now. MLB lottery simulator. There we go. Tankathon.com. It is up to date. We are officially up to date. So let's real fast before we head on out of here. Let's do our old fashioned friend. We got the draft lottery simulator. I'm going to move up a little bit. That way we know officially what it is. We got the draft MLB lottery simulator. Orioles currently have the 5th best odds for the first overall pick at an 8.66% chance. I will say moving up to, if they could find a way to get all the way up to 15.7, that would be cool. But I don't know if they necessarily want to do that. Obviously, Colorado and Washington unable to, but are we ready? Do I have a drum roll? Oh, I'll have to save that if we don't get a good pick. Draft lottery. 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Not ideal. Not ideal. They fall to pick 8. Remember, we have 2 more. We're trying to get the first. We are on the quest for pick number 1. Draft lottery number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the Baltimore Orioles are selecting for. Bam, baby. Holy shit. San Francisco jumped up 15 spots? Okay, yeah, we jumped up. San Francisco went from what? The reset. San Francisco has the worst odds at 18, and they would have just jumped up. That's the bigger story. Could you imagine missing out? Right now, the Giants would be missing out on the playoffs by a singular game. They are a half game back of the playoffs, and then they just get the 3rd overall pick. Gosh, what a day. The Baltimore Orioles have the number 1. Damn, wait. Can I go back? And that'll give me, no. We'll try to get the first overall pick again. I'm going until the Orioles are first, so we can just keep it up there. Give this is okay. This one's just going. Yeah, there we go again. There we go again. So we're gonna keep it here. We're gonna keep it here because this is the vibes that we are going for. We're looking for number 1 picks next year. We did this yesterday. It is a lot of high school shortstops. It's like 6 of the 7 available are high school shortstops. So don't think that's gonna. We'll see who kind of separates themselves. Without a doubt, Jason. This is so likely, like us getting the 5th worst odds and then picking 18 is more likely than us getting the first pick in my mind. Without a doubt. Yeah, we got our 2. Oh, we actually just. Is this just the Royals? Oh. Baseball Americas. Oh, wait, no, that's 2020. Oh, that's also just not what I need. Oh, yeah, the way too early. Way too early mock draft. So in this one, the Pirates go Grady Emerson, shortstop from Texas, a high school shortstop. I forgot this is pick 5. Orioles go left-handed pitcher from actually Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, which is where Kobe Mayo went to school, for Gio Rojas. Lefty out of high school. All right. I know LeBron is the guy that everyone, Justin LeBron, the shortstop from Alabama, is a big one that everyone wants. But we'll see what happens because obviously I don't think the Orioles draft for positional need, especially in baseball. You just take the best players available. I would love a pitcher. I don't think it happens if Michael Glass is still the general manager next year, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Not gonna lie, we don't have any call-ins. So looks like that's gonna do it. Quick show, 45 minutes. Not too quick. Usually we're about an hour, but quicker show. I guess I'll hop on the road. Got to get back home. No Oriole game tonight. So I guess we got to just enjoy time with ourselves. kind of whack. But no Oriole game tonight. Barry. Tough. But the Orioles were in the win column today. Orioles were back in the win column, 4-3 victory over Cleveland. Get out of Cleveland. Come back to Baltimore for a 3-game set against the Colorado Rockies. It's going to be a fun one. I will be there tomorrow night for Floppy Hat Night. So if you're around, go get your floppy hat. Going to be a hell of a time. But that's going to do it for this edition of Kevin and Zach React. We will see you all next time. Well, I guess tomorrow. Sure. Oh, wait, Joe, I got you. Joe, I got you before you hopped off.
Well, damn, I was shopping, so I missed the link, and my earbuds died before I went into the shopping center. So we had a little bit of a conundrum. What do you say?
You know,
Hey,
it happens. But, Joe, how we feeling?
Feeling good. Don't ever, here's a tip, don't ever tell the missus that you'll pick up a couple things from Sam's on your way home. I don't mind doing it, but a couple.
It was probably not a
have
couple.
in this truck right now.
Yeah, it's probably a little more than a couple. But you know what? Good for you. Good for you.
It's okay. It's convenient since it's close to where I load the truck. It's not a big deal.
You know, it happened. It happened.
Hey, the Orioles did win. They held on to win.
They held on.
Congratulations, Orioles. You remember how to win a baseball game. And that is fantastic.
It's something, you know. Hey,
I mean,
at this point.
And you had a soundboard, so I'm assuming this was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say we used it when we got the first pick in the draft, in the mock draft simulator or draft lottery simulator. But it's been good. It's been good. I've been happy.
We're gonna take a pitcher from Arkansas with that mock draft number 1. Because we're going to win the College World Series next year.
It's coming home, Joe. It's coming home.
If Gage can go 26 pitching a no-hitter, the winner of the College World Series can go number 1 next year to the Orioles.
I'm in.
We'll make it happen.
I'm in, Joe.
A man can dream. A man can dream.
A man can dream. But, Joe, you know, it's been a fun one. It's been a fun one. At least the Orioles, at least we're talking after a win.
Yeah, and I had help for 2 days, so my body is not like feeling like I'm 70 trying to catch every score. And
it's the little wins, Joe.
Little wins. I'll take it. You know,
exactly.
And hey, we're gonna get swept by the Rockies this weekend. That's okay, though. That's okay.
As long as I get to watch in my floppy hat tomorrow, I'll be okay. Nothing can kill the vibes when you're wearing a floppy hat.
Floppy hats are good. So.
They are. But, Joe, you get home safe.
Yeah, you could always go to Dewey Beach tomorrow and catch Justin Moore concert.
Ooh.
Arkansas's own Justin Moore is in Dewey Beach. I know
Dewey.
Tonight is sold out. I think there was a couple more tickets for Friday, but you know, you could drive down the beach.
I was gonna say, if you're in the Dewey Beach area, go check that out.
Catch a country concert. The opener is actually lives around the corner from me. Not like really? I know him or anything, but he lives in the same town.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for you. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Yeah, so if you're in the Dewey Beach area, go check it out. Go see some good music tomorrow.
He plays every year, so apparently he likes the bottle on court. So
love it. But Joe, appreciate you calling in, my guy. And you be safe. Get home with those couple of things.
Yeah, we're headed that way.
Awesome, Joe. Appreciate you. I'll catch you next time, my friend. Awesome. And, you know, you would be surprised with this team, but I agree. I think this is going to be a game or a series where the Orioles hopefully can take 2 of 3. I hope. I really hope. But now that's going to do it for this edition of Kevin Dr. React. Hell, I'm going to play the music. That's going to do it for this edition of Kevin and Zach React. I'm playing the music because I can. What are you going to tell me? I can't. Live after every single Oriole game, win or lose. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We'll be back tomorrow after Floppy Hat Night. Orioles take on the Rockies for the first game of a 3-game set. We'll see you tomorrow for another edition of Kevin and Zach React. Cesar is Taurus. We'll see you, everyone. Woo!